Okay, time to brew another cup of the good coffee because Bart from MercyMe is hanging out with us on Spirit 105.3. Welcome to the morning show.
Oh yeah, you're on different time zones. Like it's almost not morning here.
It is so great to connect with you again. I was thinking about you, Bart, and I really appreciate how you and the band make songs that make us think about what happens when we take our last breath. I Can Only Imagine, of course, and now Oh Death. I think it's so beautiful to think that you've given so many people hope about heaven. How's that feel?
It feels great. It's like we joke like you may not like the song now, but it's coming.
That's so great. But even Oh Death as an Italian, I really, really resonate with this song because, the joke always is, you're dead to me. And I love the idea that death is dead to me, Bart.
Yeah, man, that's all that credit goes to Walker Hayes, the country singer. When he brought the idea, it was just a fresh perspective because he didn't grow up in the church. He doesn't use the church language, so to speak. And so when he sent me the chorus, I was blown away and loved the idea that, I'm sure the second you get a song called Oh Death, you're not sure what to do with it, and then you hear it, and a heavy subject that makes you want to dance. So I kind of loved everything about it.
Yeah. What do you say to somebody who's still not sure what happens? Even my grandmother is 95, Bart, and she knows the truth. She knows what Jesus came and did for us. But I said, oh, Nanny, you're so close to heaven. And she is. And she's like, I hope so. What do you say to somebody who's still in that space of, I hope so?
Oh, man, it's so hard. I don't know what you say because at that point in life, it's like I don't know what they've gone through to still feel that way. And so I probably more or less just pray you're going to be able to exhale really soon and just and all of the worry, it at that age, it hurts. It's painful to think that they've had that thread of worry. And if I live that long and I'm close, you might hear me say, I hope so. I have no idea how I'm going to feel then, but it's like, when your faith is on the verge of becoming a reality, I hope I react to where I'm like, let's go, let's do this. But it's like, I get that there may be a hint of fear of did I get it all right? Did religion do me right? Did I, I hope and pray that when I'm at that age, I feel like I do now, to where I'm like, man, I feel so free and covered but yeah, half of my family was like that, and be able to sit with them and go, man, I just hope that he says, well done. I'm like, I think you're good, man. I think you're in good shape.
Amen. Your life story is told in the first I Can Only Imagine movie. And if you're listening and you haven't seen it, highly recommend. It's so beautiful. But for somebody who doesn't know how you came to Jesus, how faith became real in your life, how would you tell that story, Bart?
It's not a coincidence that a lot of my life and story is around daddy issues, if you will. Sure. Even with the sequel, the new movie, it's like now I'm the dad just trying to get it right with my son. And, my dad was abusive until he came to know Jesus a couple of years before he passed away with cancer. And so I was raised by the church trying to fill the void that my abusive dad wasn't there for. And so it's what got me to church. Honestly, what brought me to Jesus is the moment somebody started preaching that there's a Father in heaven that is proud of you and that adores you. I was hook, line, and sinker because I'd never heard that. Oh. And then for it to come full circle to be with my dad when he fell in love with Jesus, I think I even said it at the end of the movie in one of the clips. Like, man, if God can change a monster like my dad, then he can change anybody. And it's stuck with me, man. I'm 52 and I don't know how to not talk about Jesus in our music. There still feels like there's so much to say, and it's the most life-changing thing that's ever happened to me. And it's a hope that, that I've spent all these years trying to write about, and it's still hard to describe.
Wow. It's so good to hear your story from you, and thank you for telling it. Bart, I know you've heard many stories over the years from people who have been really touched by the music you and the band make. What's your favorite one to tell?
The first one that comes to mind, which was pretty wild, was when I Can Only Imagine when it went to mainstream radio, because it was top 40 station in Dallas was doing a truth or dare, like Howard Stern shock jock thing. And somebody dared them. They were trying to do stuff perverted, and somebody called in and dared them to play Imagine. And they were like, man, we're not doing that. That's not what this is about. Huh. And it was the actual listeners of that station that kind of harassed them into playing it. Like, why wouldn't you do that? And so they played it, and then for the rest of that morning show, that's the only song they played, and they kept talking about it. It wasn't long after 9/11, so the timing it was kind of a perfect storm. But in that, we found out later that they had a girl that showed up at the radio station, and came to the front door and just wanted to talk to somebody, and apparently she had been driving around Dallas trying to figure out a way to take her own life, and this station that she always listened to, Top 40 station, played Imagine, and then that's all they played for the next 2 or 3 hours as she drove around. And she goes, I didn't know what to do next, so I just came to the station to let you know I'm going to be okay.
Oh, Bart.
And I don't know, never met her, don't know if she came to know Jesus, but that was just such a powerful thing, and she didn't know who to tell. So she went to the station to say, thank you for playing that, I'm going to be okay. And I was like, we found out probably 6 months to a year later when we finally met those DJs and they told us the story, and it was like, wow, like it was, there's a lot of crazy stories, but that one's up there.
Thank you for sharing that. And this is why I am so happy I Can Only Imagine 2 is coming out early in 2026. How are we even at 2026? But this is really exciting. And this is a different story that we're going to hear from your life in this movie, your story as a dad. We get a little glimpse whenever we hear Even If on Spirit 105.3. And man, I thank God for that song. It's very special to me. Even If inspired this movie, right?
Yeah, the whole story is around how that song came about, and it involves it's about my relationship with Tim Timmons, who co-wrote the song with, who's played by Milo Ventimiglia, who was the dad on This Is Us. And Gilmore Girls and all that, and he's amazing, and it's ultimately it's a story about me and my son, who's diagnosed with diabetes when he's 2. He's 23 now. And realizing how I didn't know, I was more of a doctor than I was a parent or a friend to him. Like every conversation was, don't eat this, this, take a shot. And I didn't know how much it was wearing down my son until I heard his perspective of like, he didn't like, to him, he would say we didn't have much of a relationship at all, which he wasn't wrong. It's just, I was just trying to keep him alive. And then found out that he had a love for music that he kind of kept from me because we just didn't have that relationship. And the story is how Timmons was kind of the bridge that kind of brought me and my son back together, and like when we were having a hard time talking, and that's what the song's about. And the movie is about how Even If came out of that season of just dealing with a chronic pain that never goes away, a chronic issue that never goes away, and diabetes, and how it just was wearing me out, and learned how to treat it as a new normal, and that there's maybe instead of like, man, why did you do this to us, God? Maybe it's like, okay, God, maybe you chose us because we can try to find a way to glorify you in this, and we can handle it. And so it's another father-son thing, and about how me and my son are best friends now, and it's a beautiful ending. But it's like to watch him struggle with me and watch his music flourish. And I didn't think it would be a movie. Like I was hesitant, but now that I've seen it, I'm like, it's pretty exciting to tell the story, especially with my family and my kids, and it's important to Sam. There's a lot of people out there, whether it's a diabetic child or something that's chronic, that they've so often said, well, it could be worse, that they don't allow themselves to grieve or to say, man, I've had enough, and it just grinds at them until it's almost too late. And so Sam really wanted this story to be told about how, hey, I'm still here, and I'm still. I'm trying to be healthy, but insulin is life support. It still will wear at you if you let it. And I think there's a lot of families that feel under-acknowledged, I guess, or whatever, that deal with this, but that, there are worse things out there, so they don't complain or speak out, but they hurt just as much. So, yeah, I'm excited for people to see it. So far, the response has been great with some of the focus groups, and I think it's going to be okay, I hope.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. How excited is Sam, your son, about this movie?
He's super excited. He just signed a record deal, so he's trying to get his album done. And, he's very excited, and the whole family is. And so, yeah, it's a different experience than the first one, where I'm trying to recall my childhood, and some of the people in that story aren't around anymore. And to walk through this one with my family has been amazing.
Well, Bart, I really appreciate you. And I definitely want to tell you why Even If is such an important song in my life. And thank you for it. My son lost his large intestine a few years back. And I remember belting that song out in the studio, like through tears. It was, because that was me. How do you get on the radio and encourage people like you were getting up on stage when your son is at home dying on the couch.
Yeah.
And it was wild because this morning, first song I heard was Even If when I came to work. And Josh is probably going to have another surgery coming up here soon. And I just thought, Lord, how crazy is it that Bart is going to be on the morning show, that this is the first song? Like, I just want you to know how his hand is upon you. And I want to thank you.
Yeah. I think there's freedom. I mean, we were never meant to keep our mouths shut when things are going hard. I think the best thing you do is be honest and vulnerable, because and you get it more than anybody. Like, whenever I sing a song and the second people start singing along in concert or whatever, I realize I'm not alone. And sometimes those voices in your head will tell you, man, don't say anything, just be happy, be positive. But there's so many people that are in your situation that are sitting somewhere going, man, am I by myself on this thing? Who can relate? And not only for your own sake, but for the people listening, it's like, there's a beauty in being vulnerable and just saying, you know what, today's not great. But we're going to get through it. It's like, I haven't found a character in the Bible that hasn't gone through suffering yet. So, including Jesus. So it's just part of it,
A to the men, Bart. It's a new season, my favorite. I know you love the whole fire pit thing because I follow you on Insta. What's your thing? Like, why do you love sitting around the fire pit?
It's like a rite of passage for a guy, man. It's like, there's something about sitting around with your closest friends in a fire pit, mainly because it usually means that the weather is worthy of a fire. So that's always a win. I'm not doing 100-degree weather, but it represents so much. My favorite time of year, with good, with great friends. And there's something about a fire pit that just, I say it's the equivalent of a girl watching The Notebook. There's something about a fire pit that makes men vulnerable. I'm not saying it can't happen with girls too, because my family all loves the fire pit, but there's something about it that I just love so much. And if you want to get down to the real me, there better be a fire involved.
With toasted marshmallows, I hope.
Heck yeah, yeah.
All right, keeping to the food here, what's your favorite side dish for Thanksgiving?
Dressing, no question.
Really?
All day long. But it depends on, dressing's like meatloaf. Everybody has a different version of it. Or stuffing, I don't know what y'all call it, but it's like, don't give me the big chunks of celery and stuff. I want it pretty plain, like stovetop stuffing will work great for me.
Who makes it?
Well, my grandmother used to make it. Now my wife does an incredible job. She has the same recipe, so it's pretty great.
Oh, that's so awesome. And finally here, okay, our Mariners, because, this is Spirit 105.3 in Seattle, and your Rangers. What's going to happen here?
I literally, dialing your number, went Seattle, the Mariners. I literally did that. Can we just both hate the Astros and be friends?
Okay. Yep. Bart Millard, always bringing everybody together.
Yeah. Sorry, Houston. I just love that we're in the hunt. And it's like we get a leg up and y'all win 18-3. I don't know what's going to happen.
Bart, you are so awesome. Thank you for hanging out with us. May the best team win. We love you. God bless you, your family, and the whole band.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me. Great talking to you.
Same. Take care.